Crime is everywhere and constantly on the rise. Quick and easy cases are solved daily, but what about those more sinister and cold cases that remain to be solved? Join Ashley Marino as she dives into the horror of some of these cases and sheds some light on what is truly behind the realm of darkness. Here is your host, Ashley Marino.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Realm of Darkness. I am over the moon about our guest tonight. What you guys might not know is the two guests I have on tonight are probably one of the first two people that I met in the field. They took me under their wing, taught me a lot, so I'm so excited to have them on the show. You guys know them as the host of Our Haunted Lives on PARAFlixx. So please help me welcome David and Kristi. Yay!
Woo, woo!
I knew you guys would match my energy.
What's going on?
I do that, and other guests are like, hi.
No, I'm so excited to be here. So excited.
And Kristi, if you noticed, I used a different color tonight.
You did. You've got a different color scheme. I'm so blown away.
I'm mixing blue and red tonight. So
like it.
almost to an ode of you, because you have blue and red.
I have the blue and the red as well.
But I just wanted to see how it kind of mixed up with like Scully and you know
but you got the cool black curtains, so it kind of ricochets off all that color.
Well, it absorbs, and the same with your background too. But I was just like, let's do this. But it's also an ode to Pennywise, because it's the end of summer. And Pennywise has to go back into his book.
I want to talk about some different colors. I want to talk about different colors. I like Ashley's hair.
I know.
I love Ashley's hair.
Girl, seriously.
Wow. I was bored, and I just told my friend who does my hair, I'm like, do something fun. And she's like, money pieces. I'm like, that sounds dirty, but I like it.
You know what? Money pieces. Do you know where that comes from?
I don't know if I can say. Oh, I was like, I don't know if I can say it on the radio.
They're money pieces, yes.
I was thinking money shot. That might be different.
No.
I'm still teaching you, Ashley. I'm teaching you new things all the time.
After all these. Well, if I fail in the paranormal strip clubs, where I'll go next.
Somebody
has to have a niche.
You've got the money. You got the money right there.
I feel to have these fetishes for old mom bodies, right? Where you fit into that.
Oh, really? You two? Seriously, cheese and rice.
David needs some highlights.
When are you guys coming up, David? I can do them.
Oh, I think it would be lovely, David.
Well, Kristi doesn't know this, and she's going to be really disappointed because she has a super secret thing going on. If
it's super secret, then what the hell are you opening your mouth for?
Well, because there's going to be a certain somebody at a Hell House Paracon that you might like, and his name is Adamo.
Oh, and he's going to be there, and I'm not.
Yep.
You're not going to Hell House?
I'm involved
she
with
has
something that I can't speak about right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's filming that weekend, so it's kind of
Kristi,
David's going to go do his thing.
I'll give him a kiss on this cheek.
Oh, yes.
Kiss on this cheek. Adamo, that's from Kristi.
Yes, you will have to do
And he's going to be like this tall.
You have to bend down.
Well, anybody to David is,
that's true.
I know. No, but I wanted to kind of surprise with that. So I'm sorry, Kristi.
Oh, that's such a surprise, but that's okay. I'll be with somebody better.
Oh, now I can't. We won't talk about it, but I want to know.
I can't talk about it.
Do you see the great connection that we have together of how we just go back and forth? Yeah, whatever, you go there and I'm doing this, and okay, you have that. And I'm like, well, Adamo's a really good looking guy, but
Ashley,
Yeah,
do you know who we're
you know,
talking about? You don't even know who we're talking about, do you? Okay,
No.
I'm gonna have to
I'll
send you
send you a
pictures.
picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send you
I'll send you a picture.
The
Like-
last time I got pictures, they were of Jared.
Jared Leto. Yes.
Well,
Do you
Adamo
remember?
is.
Yes. And okay.
Oh no,
I still have
we're
that
not.
picture in my phone.
Okay, for
And
everybody listening.
okay,
So-
let Ashley speak about this one.
Yeah, so we all went to Old South Pittsburgh to investigate one weekend.
Yes.
And a great friend of ours, Jason Baker, was there, who is
Yes.
also a fan of Jared.
And a friend. They actually knew each other.
They like actually knew each other. And for everyone who knows, Kristi is obsessed, loves him, hottest guy in the world, all
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
Good looking guy. Like seriously.
Jason had we'll let Kristi go from there.
30 seconds to Mars right there, baby. Okay. Oh, you want me to take it from there?
Yeah, because I wasn't involved in the picture. That was all you and Jason.
Kristi,
Okay, well,
you've never seen it, and you're like, why
I
didn't
had
I
never
see this
seen it before, and Jason sent me a picture of the nether regions of Jared Leto. And then I had to compare the nether regions to like belly buttons and all kinds of stuff like that. And there's no doubt that it was his nether regions. And I'm going to stop right there because I'm blushing.
It's so great of your reaction of when you looked at that and you were
Her
like,
face was,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, you're like, what? And
I'm not
like,
used to getting
and like that
sea
whole
pics.
lunch just like turned to a different thing, and you're like,
yes, and we were in this beautiful restaurant on top of a mountain with the sunset in the back,
and
and,
it was so
this is
beautiful.
what's going
And
on at
she's
our
like
table.
This. She's like this, like.
And I'm glued to
She's
my
like,
phone going, what the hell is this?
You're like,
You didn't have to do much zooming. You didn't have to do much zooming. It was already there.
and so sorry we started off like this and things like that, but
This
oh
is
my
why I
god,
love you guys.
it was so awesome.
Every time I talk to you guys, every time we're together, it's just fun. Like I cry laughing so hard with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I will say that the only time David and I always make fun with one another because David's the runner and I'm not. I'm the one that will stay and what was that? What was that? And David's like,
I'm
oh,
out.
hell no, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And you and I will say, it's the only time that I have gone running down a hallway is when we were by ourselves at Old South Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what corridor it was, but we were all the way down at the end. And all of a sudden, furniture starts moving.
Yes.
It sounds like furniture is moving. And, when we were running, I was laughing my ass off. I was laughing so hard, but in the same sense, I was kind of freaked out. But I have never ran like that before. And you and I were hauling ass. I don't know how we didn't bounce off of the side of the hospital wall or tripped over one another. But it was, ass over tea kettle. Boom, 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 boom.
That is the fastest I think I've ever ran in my life. And I remember when you looked at me and you're like, we should run. I didn't ask I was like, okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, running. Do you remember we stopped halfway once we broke the corridor?
Right.
We stopped by the tricycle and we kept hearing the footsteps and you were like, F no, F no. I was like, no, I'm out.
But I will have to say, all of my investigations, I don't think I've ever had noise like that before, but everybody watching this show knows the sound of furniture being moved on a tile floor or a waxed floor, no carpet. Mm-hmm. And we were all the way at the end, and all of a sudden we hear this hospital furniture just moving everywhere. And I look at Ashley, she looks at me, and it's like, oh, hell no.
Oh
I
man.
think when we locked eyes, you just said we should run. I was like, okay, that's
Okay,
enough for
let's
me.
go.
And I don't even know why I said we should run, because normally I wouldn't, but I think it made me so nervous that I just started laughing, and at
I
that
got
point in
you
time,
now,
I was like,
Christy.
"Okay, we're just
I
gonna
got
run."
you.
Well,
I
You
got
know?
and the
you.
best
One
part
thing.
is
So,
on the cameras that we had, you can hear us running and laughing at the
Yeah.
same time. So it's like anybody who wasn't there is like, what are they doing? Like, we're
They
just
have
running.
no idea what we heard and what was going on, and we have no way to prove it.
No, and
yeah.
if you
Well,
remember, we went back after we had found the guys,
Right.
and there was no furniture. That was the part that
That's
baffled me.
right.
Yeah, because remember we shut that door where we heard it, and there was just an exit door. There was nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I know that's what we heard was furniture.
Yes, because I fully expected a couch to come out into that hallway. And I think that's why when we're like, we should run, I was like, okay, because
that's intense.
I don't want to get taken out by a couch.
But it was
But-
intense. It was completely intense, and
Oh,
something
that whole
pushing
night
us
was
out.
intense. That
Yes.
whole night.
That
was
whole
intense.
night was
And,
completely.
you know, I
I
mean,
mean,
we can get into that, but it just, I mean, I just laugh because, you know, Christy, you giggle at me of like, all right, well, here comes this 6'7" guy just fucking running a 3.740, you know, and then you're running, and I'm like, yes, she finally ran. Finally.
I
So
did. I
She
ran.
did put up a fight. I will vouch for her. When we broke one of the doors into the nurse's station, she turned around and she gave that thing hell.
No, I know.
I don't remember that. What did I
I
did? I
do.
turn around and tell it.
You were like, you MFing a-hole, don't you dare. And then you're like,
No, it's
I'm gonna make sure it wasn't following us anymore.
it's so fun. It's so fun when you get on these investigations and you have connections with people of like you know like we did with you and Mike and Jason,
Right.
and how we had this great experience at Old South Pittsburgh, you know, and that's kind of like the thing of like with Christy and I of when we investigate or like when we talk to people, you know, you got to have fun also, and it can be
Definitely.
really scary, but sometimes you just got to go and just laugh and be like, you know what, I'm fucking out, like
Yeah.
see ya, you know, and everybody will laugh at you, and you'll come back in, and you know they'll be like, you know, pardon my French, but oh, it's your first time that you ran, you know, and they'll put $20 in your shirt, and you're like, you just broke your cherry. It's your first time you're running and stuff like that, and you know, but it can be a really intense experience also, you know, because
Well, we had that night too.
we
yeah,
did.
yeah, but it's just you know, for people that are learning or things like that, it's okay to get out of there. You don't have to stay.
Right.
You know, if you don't feel comfortable, and it's okay to run, and we're making fun of it, you know, because I'm a big guy and I'm just like,
Right.
you know, and you know, Chrissy has seen it in many places, like, I'm fucking out later, you know, but you know, it's okay to do that, and it's okay to, like, after you do that, of realizing of what
What just happened.
Mhm.
what the experience was, and evaluate it, and if you had like a recorder or something like that, of go back to get it and analyze that and things like that. So I didn't I know this was really funny, but I just kind of wanted to bring it back around to like kind of like a serious point of like, it's okay to do that. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
and
okay to run.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it also depends on the people you're with, because I know, like, all of us, you know, there were 5, 6 of us, because Josh was there too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were all so comfortable together that we had fun, we laughed, we cried, we had really
Yeah.
intense moments, we had,
Yeah.
you know, really interesting moments, like when we were in the sound booth, and like that whole night,
Oh man.
Yeah, it had everything, and I think it's
We
the
had
group of
everything
people.
that night, yes.
Mhm.
I mean, it wasn't just one thing, it wasn't 2 things, it
Yeah.
wasn't 3 things, it was 4 and 5 things.
Mhm.
And I remember getting a little tired later on, but I wish we could have gone longer because we were getting so much stuff, not only, with you and I when we passed that spirit over, that was pretty intense.
Yeah.
And then various other things, the creepers on the ceilings, I kept saying, "They're on the ceilings, they're on the ceilings."
Yeah.
And
That's
then
why
we
we
get
ran.
yeah, and
That's
it was
right.
yeah, and then we got it on recorder, it says, "We're up here,
And not
something like
digital, analog.
it was
Not
on analog.
digital, analog. Like
Yeah.
an old tape recorder. So
Josh recorded that,
yeah.
confirming that there was something on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about that till weeks after the investigation that he found it on the EVP.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was confirmed that there was something on the ceilings there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that place is spooky, and there's a reason why Chris from the Wraith Chasers says that it is his most scariest place. He doesn't like to go in there.
Right.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, it was scary, but I think I don't know. I didn't leave feeling like I could never go back.
Oh,
Maybe it's because of
no,
the
exactly.
group we
no,
had and because of all the different things that happened. I mean, I was a little nervous about the guy in the music or the sound booth. I
sure,
Right.
for a
sure.
minute thought he was gonna come home with me because he was, I think, my first paranormal boyfriend I've ever had. He was playing me songs. Every song. Yeah. Well,
Well,
and David can vouch for it. Every song I said I wanted to hear, it would come through on the portal card.
yeah, and
It was
and
Wow.
also
crazy.
the thing I think that really helped us out on that investigation is when we were interviewing you and Mike, there was just like this kind of connection that we both felt with you, and hence of why we went with you to there, and why we had those experiences
Mhm.
of
It was just
it
good
was
connection.
yeah, it was just really like kind of like it was really like a really cool thing,
Yeah.
and just like a great investigation of laughing, crying, running.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
had all
Definitely.
the makings of a good show, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I
Well, and
know.
it had a
We
lot of
should have
firsts
recorded
for
that one.
me.
Yeah, we
We
should have
should have,
recorded
yeah, it had a lot of, because that was the first time I ever ran. That was the first time that I ever had, like, an entity kind of almost work on command where I'm like, "Play
Right.
CCR," and
that. Yeah,
CCR comes through, and
yeah,
then
Right.
our experience in that room, that was the first time for me too, and I remember walking out and I felt like a completely different person because 'cause I'm like,
yeah,
Right,
"That
because it took us
was
over an
incredible."
hour to cross that person over.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It took us a while.
And it was
Yeah,
really
it was
weird
amazing.
because Ashley was kind of hanging out with me, and
Mhm.
I started doing my pacing, Christy.
Yeah.
And just walking back and forth, going, okay, okay. And then Ashley, like, kind of went up to you of what you said of like, is David okay? And you go, okay, when David does this, there's something going on. and, and then and then you went straight to that room with like Ashley, and just everything went on, and
Yeah, 'cause
we can talk for like,
they didn't want men in there. Remember,
yeah,
Ashley? I was saying they
Yeah.
didn't want men in there. It's like, "Do not come in here. Guys, just don't come
yeah.
in here."
It
Yeah.
was just a great experience of that drew us all together, and being outside with Mike and Jason,
Mhm.
and kind of blocking those things and allowing you guys to do what you were doing, things like that. It was just
Right.
a really beautiful experience of some things that you can get of when you do these things, and really gel with people. It was
Yeah.
fucking incredible. So
Yeah.
Well, and I know just sitting there, like Kristi, just we were feeding off. I mean, I would say one word and you would finish my sentence. And it was like I had
Right.
never had that with somebody in the field before. And I remember, like I said, I just walked out and like, what just happened? That was
yeah, yeah.
scary and sad and
Right.
enlightening. And
All
it,
kinds of different
yes.
emotions.
And I remember I was like, I want to cry, but I want to cheer at the same time. It was
Yeah,
Right.
just
yeah.
truly an incredible experience.
Right. It was beautiful, and I'll never forget. I mean, whoever it was that approached me, I thought it was an old lady. I just thought it was old lady, but come to find out, it was a young girl that had as it was anorexic and was left,
Yeah.
and somebody was stealing her food. She kept showing me the stealing. It was just, it was sad. It was sad, but then finally we got her to move on, and it was
It was
beautiful.
incredible.
Yeah.
Just one of those things of like when you have those experiences, and I
You
know
just
you
don't ever
guys
forget it.
experienced. Yeah. It was just one of those things that's in my top 3. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that just means we have to get to another location together because
I know.
well, I have been bothering David. I want you guys to come up here so bad for Franklin Castle.
Well,
I've heard
we
about
were
that
supposed to
place.
do it. We were supposed to do it, but
Yeah.
you can get off work, so
Yes. Yeah, because I
yeah,
had just started a new job and it's so
it's
Franklin
okay.
Castle, because it's a bed and breakfast,
Mhm.
they only do Thursdays.
Okay.
And because they're open for the weekend. So they shut it down. They give you the entire castle. It's up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And so they shut it down, and that's why they do it on Thursdays. And I was like, oh no, like we have this planned and I just started a new job. I was like, well,
We can do it another Thursday.
It'll be in the future. I mean, OHL is like so busy. I mean, Kristi is going to be. Can I do it like this? She'll be doing this weekend. Of people will be
Whatever that's
take-
supposed to translate
taking
to.
your image somewhere, but
Yes.
we'll be I'll be in Hell House and broadcasting live, and Natalie's going to be there, and Brandon Cooper and Sam and like hundreds of other people, which are going to be great, and of course I'll be like, hey Kristi, this is a shout out, like as first I go off, because if I don't, like this one right down here will just be like, hold on. Thanks for the fucking shout out, David.
No, whatever.
I know. I'm just joking. So we have that, and then I'm doing something with Steve Dills. I know Kristi is still going to be working on her thing, so I'll be in Virginia on the 23rd, but then we'll be up at Mass Paracon with like everyone, and I cannot wait for that.
and that's what, September 29th through the 1st, right?
Yeah. And then, I mean, like we have
That's going to be awesome.
well, that's going to be so great.
I was hoping to see you guys at Rock Island because Mike and I will be there, and I'm like, I'm gonna go crash their table for a minute. I was hoping.
Now, when is that?
That's October 7th.
Yeah. No,
That'd be
because
awesome.
we'll be traveling the week after that. We'll be in Texas, and Kristi, you can kind of promote that real quick of the Ghost Hunter Girl.
Well,
So
yeah, it's the Haunted Hill House in Texas with the Ghost Hunter Girls. It's me and Patty Negri, Moon Girl, Cosmic Divine, Natalie Jones, and Miss Haley. So that's going to be fun, and David will be joining us from Our Haunted Lives.
I know.
That is a
And
powerful group of women. Wow.
so
Yeah,
actually, this is
yeah.
what I do. This is what I do when I get around them. Okay. And I'm looking for fucking quarters
I
on the
was
floor.
say they're powerful and beautiful and talented, and
Yeah. And
wow,
I'm
all
just
them
doing
walking
this.
into one place. I'd
And
be
if
like,
if somebody said something,
Hey, I feel like that walking in with them. Come on now. What are you talking about? I'm the one that should be looking for quarters on the ground because all of them are absolutely amazing.
no, and everybody's amazing, and you included Kristi and things like that. But it's just that's what I do. Of like, all right, do you guys need to need me to get you lunch or anything? You know,
Just say that you're their security. There you
please,
go.
please don't turn me into a frog, please. So
Yeah, that'll be fun. I've never been to Haunted Hill House. I've heard a
yeah,
lot
it's
about
really
it.
cool.
I've seen some documentaries on it, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what goes down there. Yeah, that's the second or third week in October, I think.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Now, something that I saw really interesting that you guys just did was the supernatural sleepover.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
Yes, tell me about that because
at
I
Fort
saw
Mifflin.
pictures. Yeah, I saw a bunch of pictures and it looked just to be absolutely incredible.
You know, it's a beautiful place. It's got so much history. I mean,
yeah.
so much history. There's so many military people that have gone through there. And you talk about residual haunting. There is, centuries of despair and disease and just horrible things that have happened, and you can feel it resonating there. Unfortunately, we were there right when a big rainstorm came through. So with it being right on the water, it was the swampland, and mosquitoes were carrying my body away. And I would,
That's
be,
because you're this big.
yeah, well, not anymore. I've gained some weight, Ashley.
That's okay.
Because you're like
No,
this big.
I'm like this now,
she's
yeah.
right. Yeah. No.
But the mosquitoes were so big and they were so plentiful that they were carrying us away.
It would be called Bud Island, and I'm from Philadelphia, so we would go there as like a field trip or something like that. So it was there from the Revolutionary War all the way up to the Korean War.
Yeah.
Just being used for different things and like munitions and things like that. But there are certain places there that were really, really kind of I don't know, Kristi, you and I were kind of feeling like some things in like the torpedo room of where it had that well,
Yeah.
of where it was uneasy, and then like the cellmates of
The prison
where,
cells.
yeah, the prison cells of where people were at. And we were actually broadcasting, I think it was in Cellmates 11 of where all of us, of where Childers was Larissa was being actually like,
The human pendulum.
yeah, she was being the pendulum and things like that. And Kristi was filming, because a lot of times I do the filming because Kristi has a greater face than I do. I have a great face for radio. So, so I always film her like, oh my God, it's so great to see you on this camera. And then I turn around on me and like, no, here, like I'll film you. But she was filming, and it was this place of where they actually do like receptions. So there's like a bar, and then there's like two other things of where it seems like coal pits of where they can like kind of light fires and do food and things like that. But there's a mirror, and then there is a skull with antlers on it. And
Creepy.
so we were hearing things, and the pendulum's going back and forth. And you can look back on the broadcast of and it's on OHL or PARAFlixx or Third Eye Productions. And I go up to Kristi and go, there's fucking something walking around through the mirror, and it's going through.
Yeah, he's whispering to me as I'm recording.
It's going through this, and this is what's going on. And she's not doing anything. She's an incredible cameraman. She's like, I'm vigilant. I'm doing this. And then like
dude,
Alan,
get out of my ear. I'm recording here.
and then like Alan, who is Larissa's pardon me, husband, he's like, who's fucking whispering? And I'm like, there is fucking something back there, and it's going through the mirror and this and stuff like that. And then what was really cool is like Childers is like, I was noticing something back there, and Larissa, like being the human pendulum, she was seeing somebody like,
in her mind's eye. She was
in that kind of talk state of like, it's back there. And then like I felt really bad because I know Kristi like knows how to scry and stuff like that. And I was like, Kristi, fucking go scry in that fucking mirror right now. And she's like, what?
It's like, oh, hell no.
It's
Not after just what transpired. You want me to go scry in that mirror? Oh, hell
but
no.
Hey, we just all saw this thing. Now go scry.
no, well, I
Exactly.
was seeing it. They were seeing it like in their mind's eye and stuff like that. So it was like I was like, Kristi, go, and she's like, David,
No.
I love you. You're incredible, but you just saw something going back and forth from something, and I'm not going to scry in that mirror.
No.
And then I was like, oh, you're exactly right.
See, and this is why I need you guys in my life, because I've been like, okay.
No, but it was so great. It was such a great experience of, not just that, but the other things that were happening. And then like kind of the funny things that were happening is we were walking around with David Childers, and I kind of like to walk around, and so we went back to like the back part of the thing. And Kristi, remember this? Like they had all these fucking things around, and I would walk like one place and it'd be like, do. And it's like I would be setting off all the alarms, and people were going like, they're going, what are you fucking doing, man? I'm like, oh, I'm
It didn't matter where he
investigating.
walked. He was setting off some kind of device. What we were trying to do was get into a different area so we could go live to do a live production for the
It's so
people that had
funny.
hired us. And it didn't matter where David walked. He was setting a music box
so
off. He was
funny,
setting
though.
this off. He was setting that off. And I was laughing so fucking hard that there was no way we could go live. And everybody in that group was probably, who
They
are
were
these
like,
bozos right here messing up our investigation?
we're not following you.
Nobody yelled, David, stand still.
I think I did. I think I told him, David,
Yeah,
stop.
I think you did, but it was like, well, if I stand still, I'm gonna get taken away by a mosquito.
Mosquitoes.
So
You gotta pick and choose.
no,
That's right.
but sometimes is you investigated with me, actually, so you see how I investigate. I just kind of walk around, and I didn't know they were gonna have fucking 18 fucking devices around. Like,
Well,
let me know.
the best. No, I understand, because I tend to be the cat ball kicker. Like
Okay.
I will kick those things, and then you'll just see like it'll look like a cop going through the hallway, and I'm like, sorry guys, like I'll grab that one.
My bad.
Oh man.
It doesn't matter if they're against the wall. Somehow I always kick them, and everyone's like, would you stop? I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, I think I do remember a pinch from Kristi, like, fucking stand still. I was like, can't.
But sometimes you can't help it, because I know, like when we were investigating, when you were walking around, it was like you were just getting like the senses of what was going on and feeling the different energies. And
Right.
so, I mean, I understand it. They shouldn't have put so many music boxes out.
Well,
I got your back.
How much
That's
stuff
right.
do you need out? Like, seriously, it was this one, and then I went to this one, and I went to this one,
This
and
one and this one.
Kristi's just like, yeah,
Just
okay,
stop moving.
let's go back to our air conditioning.
Yeah,
place
let's go back
and
to our
let's do another
AC.
live.
Oh my gosh. So with
But-
that, you guys have been all over the place. You guys have been to
Mhm.
so many different locations. Is
Yeah.
there one that you can say is like your favorite, or one that you've had like the craziest experience at?
Well, Kristi has been to more than I have, but I know mine. But Kristi, go ahead.
Did you see the comment? Courtney said the spirit floating in the corner was thinking, these idiots.
Yeah, of
much.
course. I know.
Courtney, that's funny.
We're the
Pretty
Laurel
much.
Hardy. We're the Laurel Hardy of like ghost investigators. Yeah, go on.
Oh,
Kristi,
my goodness.
What about
Let's see.
yours? I mean, I know we've been to a lot of places together, but would we want to like say of like where we've been together, or like of where?
Individually.
Yeah.
Both.
Both.
Okay.
Well,
Mhm.
individually, I would have to say either the Conjuring House or Bobby Mackey's.
Sure.
Those two, I've had really good experiences there. The Conjuring House was pretty intense. Long story short, I had a spirit charge me. You could hear the running of the footsteps.
Mhm.
If anybody's been there, there's 3 bedrooms in a row, and there's like a little hallway that connects them all. Well, really just doorways that connects them all. And I knew something was down at the other end of the house, and it just wouldn't come through the doorways. And once I stepped on the outside of the door frame where I couldn't look down that corridor, it charged me. You could hear the footsteps, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And any second I thought it was gonna come through that doorway. And it it was so profound, and it was so quiet because everybody else was in the basement. I was the only one up on the 2nd floor. There was no doubt in my mind what it was, how it happened. Didn't know who it was, of course, but there was no doubt in my mind what it was, and it was really intense. Really intense. And you think footsteps not that big of a deal? No, this was something running, coming at it, and it was really scary.
When
Um
when you tell this story, Kristi, I love it because like when I know we're projecting through like the camera right now, but when you tell it to like
Mhm.
persons like when they're looking at you, like when we're having dinner with people, and fuck man, like
It was
she just has a look.
intense.
Yeah, I know.
It was
Oh, yeah.
intense because I was like, I was tired of waiting for it to show itself, and I was like, "I'll just go sit on the bed and do some EVPs," and it just charged down that it was crazy. Bobby Mackey's the same thing. I've seen shadow figures there, 3 of them morphing into one, going up to 8 foot tall.
Sure.
It just crazy shit at Bobby Mackey's. Things being thrown at you, being touched, um, crazy stuff. But
I
that's
think
just the stuff that I didn't go with David. There's plenty with me and
I
David.
think I
Plenty.
think with my personal experience, and we'll talk about our things that we had together after this. I think it would be Bentonville Battlefield. Of
Right, right.
of just experiencing hearing cannon fire. I had I had my FLIR out, and I was on the earthworks of where the Union soldiers were, of where the Confederate guys or the Southern soldiers were coming on. I said, I need help, I need help, I need help. And you can see like a flash in the background, like of where the woods are, of like a muzzle fire. But also that was not even what I experienced of going back. And we talked to Ernie Pack, and what's Ernie's wife's name? I'm sorry, Kristi.
I don't remember her name.
I'm sorry, but we were talking about things.
Denise, I think, right?
I think
Yeah,
it's
Denise.
Denise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we were talking, and the partner I was with at the time, or the person I was investigating with at the time, saw some golden highs, and they were up high, and it was in this like kind of like cleared area. And so we did like a spirit box session, and it just really started getting really weird. And then I just started like getting vertigo. And what I tell people is vertigo can be really, really weird, but this is the only time I felt like prey instead of predator.
Right.
Like
Oh.
something was coming around and circling us. Yeah, and circling us. And I was like, it is fucking time to go.
It's time to go.
Yes.
And here we go. And I ran out, right? And the person I was with was like, I'm staying. And so I was sitting out there, and I had to go back and say, we're leaving. And he's like, no, I'm staying. And he's like, okay. And I just was walking to my truck, going to La Flama Blanc. And he's like, where are you going? I said, dude, call an Uber because I'm fucking out. and he's like, okay, well, I'm going too. And here's the weirdest thing about that is that when we left, it felt like we were being followed for like another 5 miles. So there was something around there, and I don't know what it was because that land is so old and there's so many other things there and so much bloodshed that happens like on that battlefield and things before. And that was really, really
You
scary.
never know what it was.
But
Yeah.
Kristi, what do you think? What do you think of our like kind of thing together? What do you think the weirdest thing is we happen together? Because I kind of think I know what it is, and it might be in New York.
Hinsdale.
Yeah.
Infamous Hinsdale.
Fuck
Yes.
that place. Oh my
That
God.
it is. It's
Oh
my
my God.
kryptonite. I love Hinsdale, but every time I go, I'm like, why? Why did I come
Oh.
back? And then I leave, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go back.
Yeah.
It ropes me in every
It
time.
gets you. It gets
Yes.
you. Yeah.
It does.
Because
It is
I
the
didn't know
scariest
it was
place
on a
I've
ley
ever been in
line.
my life.
It's like on 2 ley lines. I wasn't aware of that. So I go in not knowing that, and it totally, my psychic abilities and my mediumship, I mean, tenfold.
Kristi, you have to start out right at the beginning of what you were feeling before you got there, and then when we got there.
Oh yeah, I was getting messages before we even got to Hinsdale.
Were you?
Yeah.
Because we filmed our first episode, and I think we told you guys when we were on your show.
Yeah.
I was having dreams and visions 2 weeks before we left for Hinsdale.
I had no
Yes.
idea what we were going into. I
Yes.
had no idea.
Well, and
I
I
was
would tell
getting I was
Mike.
getting names. I was getting
Yes.
a girl that was telling me that she was gonna be there, and a couple of other things I can't remember, but it all came to fruition when we were there. Everything that I got prior to the investigation.
And
Yes.
when we were driving up, Kristi's like, "There's somebody standing there already."
Yeah,
And,
there was somebody out in the wood
and
line.
there, I was like, okay, I can't see too well. I've got these glasses on, and they're like, "There's nobody there," and she's like, "No, there's somebody there," and it's like, fuck. Roy Kent, Ted Lasso. Fuck. Here we go.
No, I have to say, I am so happy that you said that, because when Mike and Jason and I went, I would text Mike all these. I'm like, Mike, I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy.
Right.
And he's like, write them all down, because
Yeah.
Dan was supposed to be there. So I took all these notes in my phone of all these dreams and visions and thoughts.
Right.
And we got there, and Mike had known, because I had read it to him on the way and all this stuff. And he
Right.
would just giggle. And I'm like, what's, and when I got there, Dan's like, okay, let's hear it. Every single one of them had a different story during a different time, but they were all true things about Hinsdale.
Right.
And that's when I still doubted myself a lot. And Mike was like,
No.
see, I told
Right.
you.
That's
Exactly. I still doubt myself every single day, but there
No.
was something about
shouldn't.
Hinsdale that I was right on.
No.
I was right on with Hinsdale.
that place is, and if anybody wants to go there, just make sure you're ready to go. Because
Yeah.
it's no joke.
It's no
Like
joke.
But what's funny is I really think that house knows who's coming, because
Oh, yeah.
I took my dad and my uncle, who are they're very big fans of the paranormal. They watch all the shows and they love it, but they've never been on an investigation. And I was like,
Right.
what the hell? It's
You
family.
gotta
I'm
go.
gonna throw them into Hinsdale.
Right.
And I took them, and there was a lot of activity, but it was all very subtle and nice and sweet.
Okay.
And I was like,
What the hell?
this is not the house that I got
Right.
6 months ago. I'm like, what the hell are you
It's
guys doing?
incognito.
Yes. And it was like they would hear a cat meowing, or they would hear footsteps. And
Sure.
I'm like, and I'm seeing blood dripping out of people. Like, this isn't okay.
I'm seeing women being slaughtered in the basement and these men just killing them, and then this thing
I'm having
calling me
I'm having to
enemy.
block shit from the fucking forest because
Yeah.
there's things going on over here.
And you guys
And-
get a meowing cat. I'm like, what the
What the heck?
I want a meowing cat.
I got a demon coming out of the forest. It was okay. I didn't mean to say demon, but it
No.
was half man and half bull coming
But
out of the
that's not
forest.
even half the story. The morning of that is Kristi's in one of the small bedrooms, and Josh is another one, and I'm sleeping in the big main room of where the closet is, of where you can sky, right, or scry, and so Josh had set up a fucking REM pod, okay, and he's so awesome that he made it to where it's the Halloween theme, right?
I love Josh.
So we are all sleeping. We're all sleeping, right?
5 something in the morning.
Yeah, and it goes off. And all I hear, yeah, it's going do 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 do. And Chris goes, "Fucking David, turn off your fucking alarm." I go, Kristi, that's not the alarm. That's the REM pod. And she goes,
I thought his alarm had gone off for everybody to wake up, and I'm like,
she goes, "What?" I go, "It's the REM pod."
in
And
the
she goes,
closet, Ashley,
Yeah,
where the
Oh my
scrying is.
gosh.
yeah.
It went off.
So I go to Tim Hortons and get breakfast and coffee for everybody. And then we have just this incredible, like, kind of impromptu, like, session of investigating. And Kristi, you can take it from there.
Well, the long story short, there was a kid there, and I was picking up on kids and picking up on dinosaurs. So I started pulling up dinosaur pictures on my phone. And we had the spirit box going. We had the SLS going.
Ovilus, yeah,
The
Paranormal
Ovilus
Talk, we had
going.
everything going.
The spirit box said Tyrannosaurus Rex. The SLS had like 3 kids sitting next to me,
Yeah.
listening to what I was reading to them about
Oh,
the
yeah.
different dinosaurs.
Yep.
And you could see it on the SLS camera. You could feel the cold spots around me where they were sitting. And then all of a sudden, I was like, something's coming up the stairs.
It
I said,
fucking switched.
the whole mood of everything switched.
And the
I'm
kids were
like,
gone.
I've got to go.
Cold,
And I
demon,
said,
paranormal
kids don't
pod.
need to run.
Yeah.
Kids disappeared from the SLS.
Yeah. Gone.
I went downstairs and everybody else took over because I had to go
got
outside.
cold.
It was so
It got
intense.
cold. It got cold. Things were coming through on the puck and on the Ovilus. And Chris is like, I have to go outside. And what was really, really interesting is, like, when Kristi went outside and she got off the land of onto the road of, you know how there's that road that goes there and it doesn't go anywhere, but it's just a road to, like, turn in.
Yeah. Mhm.
And when she went off there, she was fine. But what was really interesting is she asked me, like, these 3 questions. And the one thing that I remember, because I can't remember the other 2, but she wanted to ask on the Ovilus of, am I your enemy? And with the Ovilus, you can do like the the words and things like that. But I love the part of where it's like red or green of true or
The yes or no.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true or
I
yes
do
false.
too.
And so Kristi was outside and she was doing that, and she wanted to go over towards the pond of where the pond is. And, Dan has done, like, some really good stuff with, like, the new dock and things like that. And I'm asking it this, and I'm asking, and it's going back and forth. And it's not like doing anything true. And, and asking of, is Kristi your enemy? And it's like up and down, up and down, up and down. And then it goes bing, green. And I went, okay. And Kristi is over here at the pond. And Kristi, you can kind of take it from there of what you were saying.
Oh, well, that's a little intense. That's when I saw, like,
Well, this is great radio, and we're bringing people up to this.
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well,
I mean, you can tell the story if you want to.
I was
I'm
sitting
sorry.
at the pond because I wanted to because the whole investigation was really intense for me because I wasn't used to the ley lines.
Mhm.
And I'm not used to being that open psychically, mediumship wise. I'm not I'm not that great at it. It just hits me when it hits me. But I was completely open when I was at Hinsdale House. And when I went out to the water, I was thinking I was going to get a little bit of reprieve, just a little bit of
Little
Sorry.
grounding.
yes, grounding by the water. Let me, just ground and replenish my chi and my this and that. No, there wasn't.
Yeah.
I looked up, and coming out of the wood line, it was half man and half like bull with horns, and it was just standing at the wood line, and it was almost like it wanted to come out, it wanted to come get me, but it couldn't.
Yeah.
There was something holding it there, and I don't know. I know that they've had several, witches and psychics and whatnot out there, that they've kind of put a barrier on the woods out there. But whatever this was, it couldn't come out of that tree line. But it was. I don't make a habit of seeing things like that. That is the first time I've ever seen anything like that, and the last time I've seen anything like that. So it was pretty intense. And luckily,
so-
David started yelling, "Kristi,
No,
Kristi."
so I got the green on She's Our Enemy, and I went outside, and she was so like content of like just sitting by there, and it was almost like she was like almost in like a catatonic state.
Yeah.
And I looked over, and I saw the outline of something, and I don't know what I saw. It might be describing of what she saw, but I grabbed her by the wrist, and I said, "It's fucking time to go."
Yeah.
And so we got her.
We left.
We got everything, and we were going to the Wildwood Sanatorium the next night,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's so close. And Josh was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Pack your shit. We're gone.
Yeah.
We're gone."
They
Like
called
right now.
me the enemy, so yeah, it's time
No,
to
and
go.
it was time to go, and so we packed it up, and like Kristi was so emotional of what was going on, and like we went to the hotel of where we're going to stay at, and it's like 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're not supposed to check in till like 3, and I was like, "Is there any way you can do this?" And wink, wink,
It's like,
nudge,
I'll
nudge.
play as sick as I
$40
need
bucks.
to.
Here's $40. Is it open?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, of course." But
You have no idea what kind of hell night we've had. Let us into this hotel room.
and I'm sorry to say that, Kristi, and I don't know if you want people to know that, but she got really emotional about what was happening, because it's one of those things of like, when you get into what we're doing, and what can happen, or the emotional things that can happen to you, it's very scary. You open yourself up to things, and
Well, because a lot of times people don't expect things like that to happen.
yeah,
They don't expect it. They think it's all fun and games. And for the most
Right.
part, yes, it is a lot of fun. You can have fun, but there are moments
yeah.
that really just grab you by the ass and, just kind of shake you. And
Well,
this
and I
is real.
wish people knew that more, because people do, like, in this field, people will sit there and be like, "You know what? I want to be a witch today. I'm going to order a monthly subscription box, and I'm going to learn to be a witch off of this box." And I'm like, "No." And you know what? I'm going to be psychic today. I think, and I'm like, that's not how it
That's not
works.
how it
Like,
works.
you want to open yourself, and you want to do these things, which, yes, it's great. But, for people like us, we're like,
You got to work.
you have to work at it, but you also.
And
have to learn to
I've been a
shut it
bad
off
witch
and-
lately. I've been a bad witch. I haven't been practicing very much lately, but I hear exactly what you're saying, though. You can't just, it's not like, you get a subscription to BoxyCharm or something,
I always have to look, Kristi, did you protect yourself? No.
Well, people get I think it's called like Mind Soul box or something. It's got a couple crystals in it. And I want to be like, there's so much more.
There's so much more.
Yeah.
than just a few crystals. And if you're playing in things and dabbling in things that you don't understand, that's where you're going to get yourself hurt, or you're going to hurt someone else. And it's
so many things that are open, and so many things that people are talking about. And even if you're, doing a talking board, or, just using a spirit box or things like that, you have to understand to close that afterwards.
Yeah.
Well,
Because if you don't, you're leaving it open.
Well, even doing that, we don't know for absolutely certainty that even protects us. I mean, we do what we think is best, the protections, yes, and the closing out of divination and whatnot, but we're still not guaranteed, because we're dealing with something that nobody really completely understands. This is something in a different realm. It's in a different, it's in the spirit world where we really have very little control, and what control we do have, we don't even completely understand that.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why it baffles me when everybody wants to be a psychic and everybody wants to be a medium, and they think it's, it's like being Sylvia Brown. And I'm like, you come across the scary things that you've seen.
And that's why I don't advertise me being a psychic medium, because I never know when it's going to happen. I never know when I'm going to get it. And I don't want to have to perform. That's the big thing. Don't make me perform. Yeah, I'm not here to, unless that's what I'm there and I'm saying that's why I'm there.
Kristi, here's a shot of tequila. Hold on.
Let me do a shot of tequila. We'll be good.
Perform.
So I'm like, hold on, let me take a nap real fast. I'll tell you what I dropped.
I'm throwing you marshmallows. Sorry, I shouldn't make everybody laugh.
I mean,
I
know.
People
that are just amazing with it, but mine's hit or miss, and I'm okay with that for the most part. I'm okay with it. If I get something, I get something. If I don't,
and that's why I really, really kind of not kind of, but really respect Kristi, because she's going to be honest with you. And if she is feeling something, what's that?
Unfortunately, I will be honest.
No, but that's good. But when there's in these situations of, like, you can do it sometimes, but sometimes you can't. But you're going to be honest with people, and a lot of people will not be honest, and that's why I love you. And
thank
you. Virtual hug, Kristi.
Ooh, everybody.
And it sucks because we are coming close to an end, but I have to agree. That's one of the reasons I look up to the both of you, because you guys will tell it if you're feeling it, and if not, you're like, nope, nothing, sorry.
Right.
Some people will put on this facade of, I think I see.
You can't do it. You can't do that.
I'd rather you be like, I'm not feeling it here, and then at the next place, read it like a book.
Right.
But we
never know what. Oh yeah, we're coming to a close. No. I see. It's wrap up for next show. I got it.
But no, thank you guys so much for being on. I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait for us to get back out there and investigate together. And I love you guys, and thank you so much. This has been a blast. And
thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Ashley.
I'm gonna have you guys on again, because we could go for hours.
Yes, we could.
I know. That would be a very boring conversation. So
I think we're pretty entertaining. We need our own TV show.
We'd be great.
I know.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. I love you guys. Have a great night.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.
Bye.